Alright, let's continue our journey into the subtle wonders of the cosmos. Last time, we delved into the omnipresent, unyielding force of gravity, the invisible architect that shapes everything from the apple falling from a tree to the grand ballet of galaxies. We saw how its boring, relentless consistency is the very bedrock upon which the entire cosmos is built, a force so fundamental that it defines our very sense of down and keeps our world from simply dissipating into the void. Tonight, we turn our gaze to a familiar face in the night sky, a constant companion whose predictable dance has guided humanity for millennia. Dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You see the moon almost every night. Sometimes it's a sliver, sometimes a glowing orb. We barely give it a second thought, do we? It's just there, a boring gray rock hanging in the sky. But this isn't just a rock, it's a mirror, constantly reflecting the silent, predictable mechanics of our solar system. Its very familiarity, its predictable rhythm, hides a profound narrative about light, shadow, and the dance of celestial bodies. What if this seemingly mundane cycle is a fundamental cosmic clock, influencing life on Earth in ways we often overlook? What if its unchanging routine holds a deeper, more beautiful meaning than its simple appearance suggests? Let's begin with the absolute basics. The moon doesn't produce its own light. It's not a giant light bulb in the sky. What we see, that luminous glow, is sunlight reflecting off its surface. Think of it like a cosmic mirror. As the moon orbits the Earth, and the Earth orbits the sun, the amount of the moon's sunlit surface that we can see from our perspective changes. This isn't the moon itself, changing shape, shrinking, and growing, simply a matter of perspective, an interplay of light and shadow, dictated by the relentless, predictable orbits that gravity, our friend from the last episode, so meticulously maintains. Consider the new moon. It's not that the moon isn't there, it's just positioned between the Earth and the sun. The side facing us is completely dark, unilluminated by the sun's rays. You might not even notice it, blending seamlessly into the night sky. This phase, often overlooked, is a moment of cosmic subtlety. It's a quiet reset, a period of invisibility before the slow, steady unveiling begins. For many ancient cultures, the new moon marked the beginning of a new month, a time for introspection, new beginnings, or even planting crops, aligning human rhythms with celestial ones. It's the ultimate understated moment in the lunar cycle. Then comes the waxing crescent. Slowly, gradually, a sliver of light appears on the right-hand side. It's a shy, thin curve, often visible only shortly after sunset. This isn't a sudden burst of brilliance. It's a creeping, almost imperceptible growth, night after night. Each evening, that sliver widens, a silent promise of more light to come. It's the universe's most boring but reliable growth chart, steady progression that you could set your watch to if you were paying close enough attention. Its phase reminds us that even the most dramatic transformations often begin with tiny, consistent steps. The first quarter moon arrives when we see exactly half of the moon illuminated. It's often called a half moon, but that's misleading. It's a quarter through its cycle. This is a point of balance, where sunlight illuminates precisely one half of the lunar surface visible to us. It rises around noon and sets around midnight, a convenient, predictable marker in the sky. There's no drama here, just a simple, elegant division of light and dark, a celestial clock hand pointing to a specific moment in its unchanging orbit. This steady progress is a testament to the predictable nature of orbital mechanics, a concept that underpins all of astronomy. Following that is the waxing gibbous. Gibbous means bulging, and this phase is characterized by more than half of the moon being lit, steadily growing towards fullness. It's not a sudden jump, it's a gradual swelling of light, an increasing luminosity that becomes more noticeable each night. This is the moon preparing for its grand reveal, patiently accumulating light. It fills the night sky with a soft, ambient glow, making nighttime walks just a little brighter, a little more serene. This extended period of almost fullness underscores the slow, deliberate pace of cosmic events, a stark contrast to the frantic pace of our daily lives. And then, the full moon, the big one, the one everyone notices. The entire face of the moon is illuminated by the sun, appearing as a perfect, luminous disk. Equating, it rises at sunset and sets at sunrise, bathing the night in its soft, silvery light. This isn't a chaotic explosion of brightness. It's the peak of a steady, predictable cycle. It's the culmination of weeks of incremental changes. It's a silent beacon that has inspired poets and navigators alike for millennia. Yet, even in its fullness, it's just reflecting light. A constant reminder of our sun's power and the moon's consistent orbital path. Its very predictability makes it seem less exciting, but its unwavering presence is what makes it so profoundly important. But the cycle doesn't end there. The waning gibbous begins, and the illuminated portion starts to shrink from the right. It's a mirror image of the waxing phases, a slow retreat of light. The moon is still mostly full, but its brilliance is gradually diminishing, day by day, as it continues its orbital journey. This subtle decline, often less noticed than the ascent to fullness, is just as crucial. It's the universe demonstrating that all cycles eventually conclude, only to begin anew. It teaches us about release, about letting go, as the light slowly recedes. The last quarter moon, or third quarter, mirrors the first quarter. Again, half of the moon is illuminated, but this time it's the left half. It rises around midnight and sets around noon. It marks the final stretch of the lunar cycle before it retreats into the darkness of the new moon. It's another point of predictable balance, a clear indication of where the moon is in its orbital path, a consistent marker in the sky for those who bother to observe its routine. Finally, the waning crescent. It's just a thin sliver remains, shrinking nightly until it disappears completely into the new moon, ready to begin the cycle anew. Its delicate curve is often visible just before sunrise, a faint whisper of light before dawn. It's the final act of a cosmic performance, a quiet winding down before the next grand opening. This phase reminds us of the transient nature of all things, yet within that transience lies the promise of renewal. These phases aren't just pretty pictures in the sky. They have profoundly influenced life on Earth. The moon's gravitational pull, as we discussed last time, is the primary driver of our ocean tides. The precise timing of high and low tides, crucial for marine life and coastal ecosystems, is directly tied to the lunar phases. Full and new moons bring about spring tides, higher high tides, and lower low tides, due to the combined gravitational pull of the sun and moon. First and last, quarter moons bring neap tides, which are less extreme. This isn't dramatic. It's a constant, rhythmic push and pull, a silent testament to the moon's influence on our watery planet. Beyond the tides, these cycles have shaped human history and culture. Ancient civilizations used the moon to track time, create calendars, and plan agricultural activities. The steady march of the lunar phases provided a reliable, visible clock in the sky long before mechanical clocks existed. Farmers knew when to plant and harvest based on the moon's progression. Sailors navigated vast oceans using the moon's position. Even our sleep cycles can be subtly influenced by the moon's brightness. It's a constant, boring, yet utterly vital presence that has woven itself into the fabric of human existence. So, the next time you glance up at the moon, whether it's a barely visible sliver or luminous orb, remember that you're witnessing more than just a pretty light. You're observing a cosmic dance of light and shadow, a predictable cycle of growth and recession, and a silent, unwavering companion that has guided life on Earth for billions of years. It's boring in its consistency, yes, but profoundly beautiful in its reliability and its quiet influence over our world. Next time, we turn our attention to another constant presence we often take for granted, the Earth's atmosphere, our planet's invisible shield. We explore how this boring blanket of air keeps us alive and protects us from the harsh realities of space.